Hello everyone, my name is Brendan Lynch, and I'm going to be making an Irish soda bread, which everyone is familiar with. It's a delicious Irish soda bread, but I've added in additional ingredients to make it much more nutritious. The flours I'm using are organic and unbleached, and in here I've got white and wholemeal, and I'm putting in, for extra roughage, oat bran. So just mix all of that together thoroughly, like so. And then I'm putting in the rising agent, which is a mixture of bicarbonate of soda and cream of tartar. You can't put in too much bicarbonate because it makes it quite bitter. The cream of tartar will act as a boosting agent, and some salt. Now all of this entire recipe will be found on the Alzheimer Society website. There'll be a link to it. So mix in that, in goes. This is what's interesting here, is that there's a mixture of seeds. Linseed to give you omega-6, omega-3, sunflower seeds, poppy seeds, lots of different types of seed, some raisins, well, it's a mixed fruit in this instance, and sultanas, a bit of rolled oats, a chopped apple. I leave the skin on because there's lots of vitamins in the skin, but make sure you wash it first. And to give it a wonderful aromatic flavour, I'm putting in some caraway seeds. If you don't like caraway seeds, simply omit them. So they're all our dry ingredients. I'm just going to put together like so. And mix it thoroughly. It's important that you don't have pockets of bicarbonate of soda around when you slice it later, because it's very bitter. Now, you normally make Irish soda bread with buttermilk. In this instance, though, I'm going to make it with Guinness, or any stout will do, because Guinness has got lots of vitamins in it. Iron in particular is often recommended as a health drink, and the idea behind this bread, which I've especially created for the society, is nutrition, so that you've just one slice, you've got practically everything that you need for the day. And you can also top it up with plain yogurt, for example, or buttermilk if you have it, or ordinary milk. But what's important is that we get some acid into it, which the Guinness, of course, has, to activate the dry ingredients. And we'll need a little milk. Why it's sometimes vague in recipes with flour is because different flours absorb at different rates. We import a lot of flour because English wheat is quite soft, so we import flour from Canada and America, and indeed Eastern Europe, whose grains are much harder, so you end up with a blend, just like they do wines. It's quite a skill blending flours. So there we go, look, we've got this lovely soft type of dough. Okay, and now I'm just going to turn it out onto the board. Okay, what I'm doing now is simply, Irish soda bread does not need much kneading. Remember, there's no yeast in it. It's yeast that requires lots of kneading. It's just about 6-8 turns, like you see, just to bring it together into a mass. Turn it over so that the uneven pieces are on the bottom. Just rotate it like that. Pat it down. And it's about 2 inches thick onto the prepared tray. In this case it's non-stick parchment, but just grease it if you haven't got the non-stick parchment. I like to brush it with a bit of yogurt, again, which has got some extra vitamins. But you can use the buttermilk, you can use a bit of milk itself. And the only reason I'm doing this is because I want to put some rolled oats on top, because it bakes, it gives it a lovely crisp finish. But you would also put some of the seeds that I mentioned earlier, and so we sprinkle it over like that. So they'll now crisp up beautifully in the oven. Just pat them slightly. You need a serrated knife for this, or at least a very sharp knife. Cut a good, see the depth of the knife, so a good inch across in depth. That, and that allows it to rise even again. Of course, there's a true story in Ireland that says we do this to let the fairies out. And then you put that now straight into the preheated oven, which is 210 degrees. It must be a hot oven. and then it will take 50 minutes to bake at that temperature. Okay, I'm just going to take now the bread out of the oven to check that it's baked. Good. And so just stand up like that and tap. I don't know if the sound will pick that up, but there's a lovely hollow sound which definitely confirms that that's baked. So that's taken 5-6 minutes to make, 45 minutes of baking, and you've got a delicious bread. I'm delighted to be able to support the work that the Alzheimer Society are currently doing, and I want to wish you well with your bread making and say goodbye from myself and Monty here.